What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. So in this video, I'm finally going to show you guys exactly how and what I customized my Steam Deck with. Because there are other Steam Deck videos showing customizations, and I just think they're kind of cool. There's some decals that they put on their Steam Deck that makes it look like the Master Chief armor and NES. Or there's people with the official D-brand kill switch case. And as you guys know, I'm not one to conform. So mainly because the D-brand case was recalled, but I have a very different looking customized Steam Deck. And I was hoping showing you guys this video would kind of inspire you to make your Steam Deck look a lot different and maybe modify it yourself. Because this customization I'm going to show you, not only did I buy very unusual parts for my Steam Deck, but I personally customized some of these parts to better suit my playing style. So without further ado, this is exactly how I pimped out my Steam Deck. So first I bought a Jsaux docking station because that's the only high-profile docking station around, mostly for the simplicity because everything's in one station and not like that other dock where you have to plug it in and it just lays there. And I tend to travel around with my Steam Deck a lot, so the Jsaux docking station is sleek and simple enough and sturdy enough to bring anywhere I want. And I know a lot of people got that one. That's not exactly different, but that's by far, besides this next one, the only same kind of customization I used or personal item I used with my Steam Deck. And the next one is the 1TB M.2 2230 internal SSD. And originally I wasn't going to open up my Steam Deck because it's so rare and it's like impossible to get one, but now it's actually very easy to get one. So I considered getting a 1TB internal SSD because mainly all the freaking shaders take up so much space in the Steam Deck. It's just a constant war with shaders and fighting so it doesn't automatically delete a Proton version, because apparently if you don't have enough shaders, it just straight up deletes Proton 7.0 or Proton Experimental. That's like Windows deleting DX11 or 12 when you don't have enough internal space on your laptop or PC. It's crazy. So I decided to alleviate some of the stress by getting a 1TB and not having to probably ever worry about internal space. By the time I have to worry about that, the Steam Deck 2 will most likely be out, because if I'm doing my math correctly, I have 230 gigs of shader cache and compat files, and I have 310 games installed throughout 8 terabytes of SD and external SSD. So by the time the 1TB fills up with shader cache, I'll have around 1,200 games purchased on the Steam Deck, and that will probably be in about 4 years or 5 years if I'm being realistic. And by the time that happens, Steam Deck 2 will probably be a thing. So this is where it gets a little different. I actually added plugins to my Steam Deck, so I customized it internally first before anything else. And I use the Decky plugins. So I actually went into kernel to automatically download the Decky plugins from GitHub. And I mainly use the music player plugin with the Strawberry music player, so I can play my music and play Arkham City with its challenge maps, like how I used to do with the Xbox 360. I also use the plugins for custom colors. So I mainly have the Obsidian theme and a red color over the selection, so it's red and black. And I have custom sound effects and music. Right now I'm using the PS4 sound effects for selections, like with the main menu, and I use the PS4 background music. The PS5's background music is sort of creepy, so I mainly use the PS4 background music. And it's also really cool to just mess with the plugins and see what kind of new plugins they came out with, like the Power Tool plugin. I messed with that a little bit, and other miscellaneous plugins just to see how they work, how cool I can make my Steam Deck look internally. And now for the external customizations to the actual Steam Deck. I'm using a white full body sticker from Sopiguard or Sopiguard. Not sure exactly how they pronounce that. I mainly chose the white because ever since the PlayStation 5 was announced, white and black have been a cool color to make your gaming console. And I wanted my Steam Deck to match my portable monitor that I usually bring with me. And I'll talk more about that portable monitor later. So with the Sopiguard sticker, it's kind of a little too thin. It's great quality, but the texture of it, I wouldn't recommend if you're playing fighting games to put this guard onto it. And I love fighting games, so I had to kind of cut the D-pad outline a little more so that I wouldn't rub against the actual sticker, because it's a little less matte than the Steam Deck's default skin. So while playing a fast-paced fighting game like, say, Guilty Gear, you can't really bounce back between directions as well because it's sort of a little more slippery than the Steam Deck's default skin. So I had to cut out some pockets next to the outline of the D-pad so it doesn't bother me as much, but it doesn't look very good. I tried my best, but just to make it as comfortable as possible, I had to cut out some of the sticker around the D-pad. And some of the Steam Deck's buttons are very small, like the start and select. So because I didn't get it exactly, the select button was sort of stuck for a little while before I had to cut another hole because I couldn't really tell what part of the sticker was uneven because a lot of the sticker stretches. It's not exactly obvious, but I eventually made it work and I'm okay with how the cutouts turned out. And I love the black and white colors on the Steam Deck. And for my case, I used the Steam Deck flip cover. So I have the same flip cover for my Nintendo Switch, or I had that flip cover for my Nintendo Switch before I upgraded to the OLED because it's 1 centimeter longer, so it doesn't fit anymore because Nintendo is horrible. But I used that flip cover for a long time on the Nintendo Switch as well, and they came out with a Steam Deck version of that flip cover. So basically it has a protective back with a slim magnet on the top of it, so you can detach the flip cover or reattach it, and the cover can actually work as a stand as well. It doesn't go as many angles as the kill switch case, but at least it doesn't mess with the fan's RPM. And I mainly got it for protection, portability. When I cover it, I could just put it in my backpack real quick, or I could just take it with me and just put it in my car. But there aren't a lot of covered Steam Deck cases like that. So it does have its downsides, and sadly you can't get another flip cover case for the Steam Deck without a few caveats, and that would be the fact that there are these rubber rib pieces on the top right and left of the case, and in order to put them on you have to get the triggers past them. So squeezing them against the trigger is really jarring, and it's scary because it really presses on it hard. So there's a chance that those rib pieces might break the triggers if you push hard on it enough, or if you don't know quite how to fit the case properly on the back of your Steam Deck. So I just cut them out so I could just slip the case on or off whenever I need to either switch cases or do any other mods that I would need to do in the future. And besides that, I also made a mod to the micro SD slot in the bottom of the case, because for some reason it's very tall and slim. So you can't possibly fit your finger in there. I'm not sure why they even have a micro SD slot in the bottom if you can't even take out the SD card at the bottom. So I had to cut the hole a little more shallow and bigger in order to fit my fingers into it, so I can actually swap out SD cards if I need to. So that's another downside. But if you have any kind of material shaver tool or even a knife, which I personally wouldn't recommend, but that's how I did it. I grabbed a small knife and then I cut the bottom to be a little more shallow, and I cut the hole to be bigger. And now I can take out the SD card and put another one whenever I want to. And besides those cosmetic customizations, the last thing, just for luxury's sake, was something I got off of KSL. I'm not sure if they're even selling these portable monitors anymore, but I got the Asus Strix XG16 portable gaming monitor. It has a 1080p screen and up to 144 Hertz. So if you put a game at its probably lowest settings, you can get 120 FPS on it. But not only that, a lot of portable monitors don't have internal batteries, but this one does. It has a 4.5-hour battery life, and you can charge it in about an hour and a half, which is the Steam Deck's battery life. But it's an amazing portable monitor, and it even has a classic monitor stand that you can attach to it. If you're just at your desk, you can set up your Steam Deck, set up the monitor, and just play Halo at 120 hertz with its lowest settings, most likely. But I love playing Marvel Spider-Man on the Steam Deck on that portable monitor with the next point I'm going to get to, a power bank. I actually got a very good power bank. It has 30,000 milliamp hours and 100 watts of charging power. I would recommend a specific model to you guys, but I recommend anything that gets 4.5 stars on Amazon with a lot of positive reviews, because every time I got a recommended power bank, all of a sudden the manufacturer just stopped making them. But the one I have is very good, and it's 100 watts. I recommend anything over 65 watts, just in case you have to charge the Steam Deck and something else like a portable monitor. And I highly recommend a portable monitor with a battery embedded into it. And I'll have all the links below to all the products I mentioned. But just remember, you're going to have to modify some of these products if you want them to work properly, because the Steam Deck is just now starting to be as ubiquitous as its backers wanted it to be. So there are just now starting to be a lot of those accessories that some people always wanted to see, besides the kill switch case. So I might make an update to this video, but let me know what you guys think about my customized or pimped out Steam Deck. And if you customize your Steam Deck in a specific way that you want to let everybody else know, let me know in the comments below. And I hope you guys are having a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.